Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at the Gamerverse Captain America from the Abomination Build-A-Figure wave. Here we have Captain America and his shield displayed in the front window. We had that Gamerverse logo there at the top, and then we get the Avengers logo and Captain America's name down at the bottom. On the side, we see some artwork here of all the Avengers from that upcoming game. I'm not sure when it's going to be released, but we see all the Avengers depicted here, which is cool. Captain America's hanging out down there at the bottom, and that is going to be the same artwork on both sides. On the back, they're going to take that artwork of Cap, and they're going to let it stand on its own, so we get a better look at him. Very cool looking. And then we do have a quick read-up. Injected with an experimental super soldier serum, Steve Rogers has the peak potential of strength, endurance, and dexterity. Then we do have all the other figures needed in this wave to complete the Abomination Build-A-Figure. At the very bottom, we have the UPC code, so you can check with your local retailer to see if they have this in stock. But enough about that. Let's get this open and take a look at Captain America. And here is Captain America outside of his packaging, and as mentioned, this is a Gamerverse figure being based on the upcoming Avengers game version of Captain America published by Square Enix. So I think that is cool that Hasbro is digging into that Gamerverse line a bit more and getting us some figures that are based on different mediums other than just the MCU and comic books. I actually appreciate the Gamerverse line. I think that is kind of cool. This version of Cap is pretty heavily armored, and it looks pretty good, although the first figure that I've reviewed from this wave that comes with an accessory does not come with a Build-A-Figure piece, so I feel like, again, there's some cost-cutting measures being taken here. Now, speaking of that shield, I thought it looked like Red Guardian's shield at first from the MCU wave, but it's not exactly it. In fact, I couldn't find a shield that we have like this, so it looks like this is a unique shield. We do have some pretty cool design here on the back side of it, but we do still have that little flippy piece so that you can have it peg into his back, he can hold it in his hand, or it has the clippy piece so that we can clip it around his wrist. Now, in standing straight up, Cap is coming in at 6 3/8 inches tall, which makes him about 16.2 centimeters. So, yep, fine height. I always say that. It's a good height. But since he doesn't come with anything other than his shield, let's go ahead and just jump in here and take a look at the paint and sculpt on Captain America. And getting up close here, we can see a pretty decent looking head sculpt. The digital paint technology really kind of showing its true colors here. It looks like he's supposed to have, I'm hoping, a 5 o'clock shadow. Otherwise, that could just be some blue bleeding through there around his mouth. And very fuzzy looking on the eyes. Now, of course, with that technology from a distance, it looks much better. But when you do get up close, it sometimes gets hard to distinguish what's what. But we get some good paint. We get a little color on the lips there. So it came out pretty good. The A on his head is pretty small. I'd have to recheck the footage to see if that's how it looks. The wings on the ears are not quite on the ears, just on the side of the helmet. I mean, a very tactical looking helmet. I love the ear cups there. The straps, it is a pretty cool looking design. Looking at the rest of the figure, so we can see just a lot of armor, a lot of tactical inspiration here. We got, I would assume this is probably all meant to be bulletproof and Kevlar and all that good stuff. But of course, it still keeps the traditional Captain America look to it. But we have quite a bit going on, and the paint looks like it actually came out pretty good. No major complaints there. I do wish the sculpt continued on. It literally, you go back at all from the standard pose, and that's gone. And then same thing when we flip it around on the back. If you look down a little bit, it's gone there too. But they actually went through the trouble to do some paint work there on the back, so that is cool. But man, we got straps and buckles and clips and everything all over the place. And then we got an American flag here. Somebody pause it and count that. Is that 50 stars? It could be. Something that I thought was kind of neat is it does have the flag facing the opposite direction, which is common. In fact, it is how it's depicted in a military uniform. It's going to be facing the other direction as if it was blowing in the wind. So I think that is really cool. Let's see. Go ahead and pause that one. Does that have 50 stars too? Either way, they came out looking really cool, but I like that touch that they have it on that way, that they didn't actually have it facing in the left-hand corner, so that way we know that it's military inspired. Being Captain America, it should be. One thing I thought was interesting is I got a light shade of blue there on that elbow compared to the bicep blue, but on the other side you can see it much more closely matches there. So I got 2 shades of blue there. That one just didn't get much applied to it. Wrist guards, or rather forearm there, looks pretty good. His hands, I feel like maybe are a little small too. I don't know, what do you think? Just some of those poses, they felt like maybe they were too small, but I mean, they're sculpted well. One thing I did want to make sure that I mention, because I didn't really realize this until I started messing with the shield more. So I always dislike using this because I've had 2 shields break on me, but when I was putting it on the figure, it's very loose, and actually, of course, now it's going to show that it's on there. Oh, well, there you go. So it just fell. Obviously, I was moving it around a bit, but it's very loose. You have to either get it just right, or, yeah, and you can see I barely touched it, or you might have to try to clip it further up the arm, and I just feel like I'm going to break it. So I think I might end up posing this guy with the shield on the back for a change. So, but we do get some paint there, straps holding on the armor pieces. One thing I forgot to mention, I will mention about these, this is not a soft material for these shoulder guards, and that is going to become a problem when we look at the articulation. The belt came out. Yeah, that's fine. We got a painted buckle. We get some pouches. Yeah, looks good. All the sculpted details of this uniform, very militaristic in design. And I like that it's not a skin-tight uniform. We get these big old knee pads here. And did they paint? Oh, no, it's like they clamp in or something like that. They're sewn into the, or attached to the pants there. And those pants get tucked into just some pretty plain gray boots. And nothing too fancy there. So overall, a pretty cool design to Captain America, though. The body armor is, I think, a cool look on him. So now looking at the articulation, you got a head that can go all the way around without issue, look down quite a ways, and can look up quite a ways as well. The arms, as I just mentioned, though, you don't get a whole lot out of them going up because these aren't going to move. So there you go. That's how far up, not even 90 degrees. So that's kind of rough. Full rotation, you do have a bicep swivel underneath there, and it is just a shade underneath this piece, but I haven't noticed any like paint rub or anything, so it should be all right. You do have double jointed elbows. You do have a rotation and hinge, and I should have mentioned too when we were just looking at it, we do get the open hand, so that way with this figure or with this side, if we wanted to have him hold on to the peg with the shield, we can do that. Back to the articulation though, so I already showed too the lack of sculpt when we do the ab crunch back and ab crunch forward, not much at all. Waist swivel, legs that can come apart, probably more than you'll need to. Kick forward, yeah, pretty good there. Backwards, not much at all. Upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, pretty decent double jointed knees too. Do have a boot cut, and then you have a hinge and ankle pivot. And that is going to do it for this review, everyone. So overall, I do like that Hasbro is giving us some of these different takes on classic characters. In this case, giving us a video game-based version of Captain America. So I do like that. Although like a Marvel vs. Capcom, I guess I don't know if the costumes are that different. But anyway, I still think it's a cool idea, and we're getting enough Gamerverse figures now too that having its own dedicated setup is actually something that we can do now instead of just having the 3 Spider-Man Gamerverse, technically, I think are it. I saw that the Punisher War Machine sometimes fell in that, so maybe we can have him included in that mix. But I still think it's a cool design. The shield, I'm glad, is something different. That's neat. But again, the lack of Build-A-Figure piece with the inclusion of a shield just makes me think that we're seeing some more cost cutting here by Hasbro, which I get it if they have to do it to keep the price point at $20, because I feel like at $25 this figure wouldn't sell. So, and I didn't even pay the $20 for him. I managed to get him a little cheaper than that. So, but with that being said, if you like this review, make sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more content just like this, and as always, thanks for watching my video, and have a great day.